Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Hay. I'm a mixed media artist, and today, of course, it's time for Friday Live. So I'm really excited to be bringing on a special guest with us here today. And of course, we are going to be having a look at the beautiful Splatter Gallery and Art Studio in West Wyalong in New South Wales. So I've got the lovely Clairre Wishart here with me, and I'd like us to give her a big welcome. So Clairre, I'll bring her on right now. And Clairre, it is fantastic to have you here in the studio with us. So welcome, welcome.
Good morning, Ash. Good morning, everyone.
So we've known each other for quite a while now, Clairre. So we've never actually met, but we've talked a lot and we've connected a lot and we've done so much together. So can you remember how you first came across me and Powertex Art Supplies?
I was trying to think about that last night, Ash, and as you said, it's quite incredible because we get on really, really well. You would never think that we hadn't met each other, but I think it's about 2-3 years ago, I might have come across your Lady in Rags, and because I love mixed media, I was just, yes, this is the medium I need to find, and it's in Australia. Let me find out more about it. And I think that's just where the journey started.
Brilliant. So, and of course, you're doing a lot more with the Powertex now. And next week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about something else. So everyone will have to stay tuned to hear what you're up to. We're going to talk about next week. They'll have to hang in until the end to hear all about that. So we've got a fantastic thing to talk about at the end. So make sure you hang around, everyone. Let's take a look at the beautiful gallery that you've got there, Clairre. So
yeah, well, thank you for joining me, and I hope this is pretty smooth. So we'll try and get through the gallery. It's a pretty big space. I was really lucky enough to find it in West Wyalong, and lucky enough to buy it and be able to renovate it and turn it into what it is today. And pretty proud of it. So let's go. And
so how long have you had the gallery? When did you start it?
Well, 9 years now. So 2013, August, I bought it from the Salvation Army store and had to turn it into what it is today. It was a little bit different from what it's looking like now.
Brilliant. All right. So this is what we see when we first walk into your gallery. And so this is the first room that you come into. Did you want to take us for a little gallery walkthrough, and let's take a look at some of the things we'd see if we were actually there?
Okay, will do. So on the wall, this is my main gallery space, as Ash was saying, and this is where I showcase our exhibitions if we have any in our small country town. And so on the beautiful walls that we've got, it's pretty rustic and industrial, which is what I liked. I wanted to keep it that way so that I didn't have to hide too many of the holes or anything. And it just fits with the ambience, I think, of everything that we've got here in the room, with its beautiful archways and it just showcases art. Lovely.
Yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous space, Clairre, and I'm dying to see into the other room, but I can see some beautiful artworks on the floor down there. So before we go into the other room, maybe we can take a look at some of those. So
this is just so that's my light shadow workshop that I tend to do in this room. So just my students' paintings at the moment that we're busy working through. It will probably take another good part of the year to be able to finish them off. We do lots of lessons and things like that with the light shadow workshop. So that's just a small sample of what I can do with my students.
Wow, they're absolutely stunning. And I think this is one of the things, Clairre, that I love about you and your gallery. I just think, like the work that you do that comes out of your studios with your students is just absolutely incredible, and your own artwork as well. So, go you, and that looks like an amazing workshop. So I do know that you have got one actually coming up. And so I'll just put that up onto the screen if I can find it here. So there's some details up there now. So the light shadow workshop and form art workshop, which just looks absolutely incredible. You're going to be doing that in June. So Yeah. So did you want to take us for a walk through those arches so we can see the next room?
So if you just follow me, then we'll just go through into the next room. This is my gift shop. So I have a small corner that I have and I use for my resin workshops. I do resin and acrylic pours. So just
How
a few pieces that we've made. I do coaster workshops and Christmas ornaments for at Christmas time. And yes, just a few other paintings of other artists, including my daughter Rebecca, who's made your work for HSC, got no space to hang it at home. And then going into the rest of the gallery slowly. So it's a pretty big space, and I was very, very lucky.
It looks absolutely incredible. So I just love those little resin artworks, and how wonderful as well to be able to showcase your daughter's artwork in the studio there as well.
Yes, yeah. So just more space on the walls, more art everywhere. I'm lucky enough to be quite eclectic. I don't need to stick to any one genre, basically. I can just pretty much put up what I want to. In the small country town, we don't have much opportunity for too much art around here. And yeah, brought art to the town about 9 years ago.
So all that artwork that we can see there, Claire, is there a piece that you love, which is one of your pieces? So that rose there, is that one of yours?
Yeah, all these roses, all these pieces on this actual wall are mine. So
wow.
I vary from roses to seascapes to landscapes, whatever you like. I'll do.
So what's your favourite thing to paint?
Probably landscapes, actually, probably seascapes and landscapes.
And do you do those in the studio, or do you do some work as well outside of the studio, actually in the environment?
I do plein air painting, but probably more just small studies like most artists do, and then you bring it home and you turn it into a bigger work. But yeah, unfortunately, our conditions, our climate here is a little bit not plein air friendly. It's either too hot or too cold. So, yeah.
Awesome. So
tend to work from photos.
Awesome. So when you do your workshops there, where do you actually do those? Have you got a separate workshop room or?
Yep. I can take you into that if you'd like to go.
Excellent.
Yay. Yeah. So we'll
it's a huge space, Claire. It's amazing.
This is just the start. It's 500 square meters, and the back part is workrooms and where I do my framing and that kind of thing. So this is my classroom space.
Oh my goodness, look how huge that space is. That's just amazing.
Have up to fantastic. Have up to 30 kids that can come into here. I do art for kids and adults. And yeah, I've had up to 30 children sitting at these desks, and I do the preschools, and yeah, good fun.
We've got lots of people joining us, so welcome to everyone who is here with us live. And of course, if you are watching in replay, be sure to drop some comments, let us know where you're from, and put the hashtag replay. And if you're loving Claire's space, we'd love to hear that from you. And Renee's just saying, Claire, wow, look at the space, the walls, and the space is just amazing. So yeah, excellent. So yeah, so where else can we go? So I know that you actually had a Powertex workshop recently for Mother's Day.
I did my first one, and probably won't repeat it quite the same way as I did.
So those lucky people that came along to that, I had a beautiful email from someone who said that they attended your workshop and they just absolutely loved it. Valerie, yes. And,
I think if you've got the photos there, that's Valerie with her white birdhouse.
Okay. I'll pop the photos up. So I'll just pop that up. So that was your first workshop that you actually had there. That was a Powertex workshop. And so we can see Valerie there with the birdhouse is that her up in the top left-hand corner?
That's correct, yeah. So awesome. I estimated about 5 hours and it ended up being about 8 or 9, I think.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you do the first one, and lucky people to, you know, have had the opportunity to do that with you. So awesome. Yes. And I believe you're going to plan to do some more Powertex workshops there as well, Claire?
Yep, hoping to have another one in August, hopefully doing your mixed media triptych, which I'm practicing at home at the moment. And yeah, hoping to come to you in October to do one with you as well. So that'll be great.
It's a bit exciting. And so we're letting the cat out of the bag early, because what's going to happen is, that's okay. What's going to happen is in October, Claire is coming over to WA. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a retreat for 3 days where we do a series of workshops. So we haven't worked out the venue for that yet. But it is going to be super, super exciting, and it will probably be on the weekend of the 14th to the 17th, or the 18th is Monday. And so put that in your diaries and save the date, so that when Claire comes over, we can all meet her and connect with her as well there too. So I'm pretty excited about that, Claire. So
yeah, so am I. Finally get to meet you in person. Yeah.
Okay, so now, of course, we are going to also be talking about the bus, but before we do that, was there anything else that you just wanted to say about the space and what's happening there that I've maybe missed?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it all, except give us little art studio galleries, I suppose, a chance in the small country towns. I often have quite a few people come in here and express that, wow, they never expected to find such a big space, or such a, this kind of art space in a small country town. They'd expected more to be in the city. And they say to me, you should move to the city. And I say, but I would never get a space like this in the city, So yeah, no, it's brought art to this town. 9 years ago, they said to me that I wouldn't last. I bought the building, so I had to make it work, and and it's lasted. 9 years on, we're still here, and we've got a good dedicated following. I've got kids that are in my high school light shadow class now that I took in when they were preschoolers. So it's pretty awesome to watch their journey with art as well, and it's been good. It's good to become part of this community to do that.
That's brilliant. So you really had a vision for the community and bringing art to the community. So that's just so fantastic, and I just love the space. I can't believe the size of it. Now, as well as all of that, you also run, like, you've got some huge ideas for what you want to do and where you're going, and I know because we've talked about them. So watch this space, everyone, because Claire is, as you can see, incredibly busy already. But she is also going to be, she does paint and sip workshops. So Claire, did you want to say a little bit about the paint and sip workshops?
Yes.
Where you run those, because they look amazing. What I love about them is the diversity of the work that you produce in those workshops. It's just incredible.
Yeah, so I'll take you to have a look at a few of my examples. What I like to do in my paint and sips is keep them unique. I don't like standing up in front of a class. I'm a bit awkward in front of the camera and a bunch of people, but I seem to work fine in a group, working among them. And so I get everybody to, we come up with a theme like peacocks, and I come up with 40 pictures, and they get to choose their own peacock, and everybody goes home with an individual peacock. So it's a little bit of running around for myself, but in the end of the day, the magic of the paint and sips is that nobody's comparing themselves to anybody else, and they've only got, they can't compare their painting to mine, and they can't compare it to their neighbors. They can only compare it to the picture that they're actually working from. And I have magic happen at these paint and sips, and here's a few of my pieces that I do before the workshop.
Can you just go a bit closer into those? We can't see them very well. So, oh, they look brilliant. I love the meerkats. Look at those. The peacock, there's peacock.
And we do all sorts of things.
I love the elephants, Claire. They're brilliant. Look at the giraffe.
So, of course, I have to do
that one up the top. That's a cockatoo?
Yes, my little cockatoo, if you want to go in closer. I had to do them to show them that I do. So I did them. Nobody really even looks at them, but I do them so that they can see at least I can paint a little bit.
And, you know, you'd need to use them for promotion as well, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So,
Except I find using other people's work, you know, once we've done a class, then I use their work so that they can showcase what you can do as a normal person, you know, or as a person on the street. You know, I can't paint, and then they have a look and they see their friends painting and they go, oh, wow, maybe I can do that. And they come along to the next one. That seems to have worked quite well.
yeah, and like I say, I think the biggest thing with the paint and sips that I love about your paint and sips is I just love the diversity of the works. I don't know how you do it, Claire, because you must be running around with 26 people in your class and, you know, it must be totally busy for you.
Yeah, well, I show them how to draw it on there, and I do have a few more grey hairs at the end of the evening sometimes. But generally, the magic really works, Ash, with nobody being able to compare. I think we tend to compare ourselves to others a little bit too much, and so it's quite daunting when you're looking at your neighbour and you're seeing them produce better work. But when you're producing a totally different painting from your neighbour, it doesn't really matter. So it's up to you what you want to make of that painting. And I encourage people to be messy, to be abstract, to be fine detailed, whatever they feel is going for them at the time. And probably 9.5 times out of 10, we go home with a good painting. I've had one or two, but generally everybody's been pretty happy with their stuff.
Well, Claire, you're obviously a fantastic teacher and you're very passionate about inspiring other people to create as well, like myself, you know. I know we're both very passionate about that, and it's really fabulous and, like you say, very rewarding to especially have seen the development of those kids over the 9 years. How special is that?
Yeah, very special, very special. Makes it a bit hard as an art teacher, though. A teacher at school's got a curriculum to call on year after year. When you've got the same kids coming as they get older, you can't do the same thing twice. So I've really had to go and look at Pinterest and Google and come up with my own ideas and change things around, because you get them going, we've done that. And so my answer to that one is, well, then you can do it really, really well this time. But yes, no. So my plan's got to continually change, and I've continually got to think ahead and think, okay, how can we make this better? I don't always get the timing right, and so sometimes I've got to fill it. Sometimes I've got to make them go quicker, so I don't sit there until 8 hours later, kind of thing. But yeah, it generally works out pretty quick. I think I'm quite good at perceiving what's coming up might be a problem. Oops, how do I fix that before, it does become one. So, learning.
Awesome. So when is your next paint and sip?
I normally have them every 2 weeks. It's getting a bit cool now. We're minus temperatures at the moment. I don't know what it's like in Perth. But so people are not really wanting to come out at night. But I've got another one. Oh, actually, I've got one on Sunday in Bircher. We're going to go and do it at a pub. It's a small country town, and we do it on the veranda of one of the pubs. I've got 15 people coming to that one.
Excellent. Well, that'll be fun. So if you're anywhere near Bircher, make sure you contact Claire, and I have got all your contacts here, so I'll pop them up on the screen. I'm just looking for it. So of course
they can just go online, and all my art classes and workshops are there, and it's got all the information on each workshop, all the paint and sips and where they are and what time they are. So
perfect, Claire. So I've got the website address up there for anyone who is interested in connecting with you. And of course, you're also on Facebook and Instagram, so they can connect with you there as well. So if you want to connect with Claire and see what she's doing a little bit more, I'm sure she'd love you to go to her pages and like and follow her. And, because it's really nice to stay connected with each other. So so on that note, if you are not in the Powertex Australia Creative Hub yet, be sure you join us there, and you can post any artwork in progress there. We'll give you feedback. We'll answer any questions you've got about Powertex. you can see what other people are creating, and it is just an awesome space. There's so many lovely people in there. So if you do want to learn more about Powertex, then you can go to the Powertex website or find a trainer near you, like Claire at Splatter Gallery in New South Wales, West Wyalong. Of course, we've got lots of trainers and people around Australia. So be sure to connect with anyone near you. And if you don't know who's near you, then you can connect with Powertex Australia and I'll help to find someone near you. So Claire, I'm just, so I guess one of the final questions I really had for you is, so, you know, why did you decide to go with Powertex and, you know, bring it into the studio there?
Well, in our conversations, as I've said before, I love mixed media, but I also love realism. And so I find with my light shadow workshop, it's very realistic and you get these beautiful, almost photographic type of paintings, but it's apparently easier to believe to get a realistic painting to be able to do one than it is to be able to do an abstract one. So I thought, well, let's combine the two and make a unique piece. So my journey is to be able to express myself realistically, because I love photorealism, like Chuck Close is one of my favorite artists. But then I also love knowing that nobody can copy my work. And I think using mixed media in your artworks takes you to that level. I can't even copy myself once I've done a mixed media thing, you know. It's just sometimes a lot of it is happy accidents is the best results. And so to combine the two, so my aim is to combine the two eventually, and Powertex works for me because it's a long-lasting medium. You can play with it, you can sculpt with it, it's so textural, and yet it's smooth. You can still leave those areas of realism to be able to do something, you know, realistically. So that's my journey, is to try and evolve until I can use both mediums together.
Awesome. So, of course, we're going to talk more next week, which is pretty exciting. So for those of you who have been waiting for the big reveal, what we're going to talk about next week is Claire has a massive project on the go at the moment. And so we're going to get her to talk about her Powertex bus, which... so we're going to feature the bus next week, and so be sure to join us next week again with Claire as we take a look at the bus instead of the gallery. It's been so wonderful today, Claire, to have you on with us and see your beautiful gallery there. It is an amazing space, and as I say, you know, obviously very, very good for the community too. So
well, thanks for having me. And yes, I'll show you the bus next week and show you maybe what not to do with Powertex. I don't know, Ash might go, oh no, that's not going to work. But anyway, it's working for the moment. And the biggest thing about doing your own artworks is that if it does mess up or crumble, it gives you the opportunity to do it again. So, and only you did it. Hopefully you didn't pay a fortune to do it. So, yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, Claire, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful gallery with us today. I should actually just see if there's any quick comments. Lots of people have commented, so thank you for your comments. We got into our chat and haven't noticed them too much, but we will both be sure to go back and have a look at everyone's comments and we'll comment on them. Just to let you know, Renee said, oh my goodness, those paint and sip promo canvases look amazing and would be so much, so great to do. So Claire, of course, Renee is in West Wyalong. So that's where she is. And Renee's also saying she's looking forward to the retreat and she can't wait to see your bus next week. So thanks for your comments. And of course, we will see you again next Friday live with the Powertex bus and the lovely Claire Wishart with us again to have a chat about her vision, where she's going, her big ideas. So Claire, I know you've got lots of plans with the bus, and I'm just loving seeing the progress, and I know everyone is going to want to see this bus. So it's a bit exciting.
Thanks for having me, Ash. And yes, one day hopefully you'll get to see it as well when we come up in October. We'll come up with it.
Yay. All right. See you, everyone. See you live next week. And from Claire and I, ciao for now. And Claire, we're just 1 minute.